Hello, my little ninjas. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, MOXy News. And welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie. And of course, it's our co host down by the river, Rufus, Boo Bear. I have videos prepared for you tonight. I'm prepared to have a long discussion. I've become quite prepared. Actually, I don't have any videos of myself. It would take a while to figure out which ones were the right ones to bring up because there's a long list. But I'm prepared to have the discussion if you are. The telephone number is 805-669-6397. Jackie Cat is here. I owe Jackie Cat a dab already. She made sure that she was first in line tonight. And she has a mushroom documentary, which I want her to put the link to in the chat 3 or 4 times this evening. Tomorrow night is a debut. I think she said first mushroom documentary. I don't know. You'll have to ask her. She understands it better than I do. Let's see. Where were we? It's Friday night. Woohoo! I hope you're all Boo Bears obviously ready. What's up, buddy? I'm ready. I had my first brownie out of my new batch of brownies made with my new batch of butter that I just fucking strained out last night, and then today made a batch of brownies out of it. And it seems pretty good. I'm happy with it. I don't have the slightest issue with it at all. It's very nice. It's not your go to Disneyland butter, or the way that I like to define the butters is, you have your everyday butter and then you have your go to Disneyland butter. And the everyday butter is kind of a medicative tool that you can always count on without making it feel like you're in Disneyland. And the Disneyland butter makes it feel like you're in Disneyland. And those are some of my favorite brownies. But you can't do them every day, or you can. And I have, and that may be partially what's wrong with Mike. What the hell is wrong with Mike? I mostly am interested in a medicative thing where I get what I need from the goddess, and that is, and anything extra beyond that is always nice and sometimes a very pleasant surprise. That being said, primarily what I'm looking for is the medicative qualities. And that, again, that includes being able to go and hang out at a party for 5 hours. It's like you have a nice fat brownie and whatever's going on is fine. All right, whatever. It's easy to find something to entertain yourself. At least that's how it is for me. I'm a very easily entertained individual. Maybe that's what's wrong with Mike. Is anybody writing this shit down? We're going to need to have a list so that we can figure this out at the end. Juice. Which makes me think of something that I wanted to bring up also, is that my guess is many of you are dehydrated, and you need to make sure to drink enough fluids. So drink more fluids. It's not bad for you as long as you're not drinking tap water. Drink more fluids, and I think it will help a little bit, especially during the tense times like now. People forget to drink. You gotta drink, gotta keep drinking, because otherwise you get dehydrated. And I know that's one of the things when you first start eating cannabis, is like you have a big fat brownie, and then, or even sometimes when you smoke it and you go, man, I need something to drink, you know, and it's not necessarily from smoking so much as the awareness that's being brought to you that you're very dehydrated. That's one of the things that I used to notice when I'd only eat cannabis once in a while, is that first thing was, man, I'm really thirsty. So, Gumbai. Ah, lemonade. So, again, where do we start, people? The lines are open. Let's start there. The telephone number is 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. Now, let's start with my whole life, right, since I was little, and documented. So, people ask, what the hell is wrong with this? What the hell is wrong with you, boy? It's a very common question. I've had the police ask me a couple times. And when I say common question, you know, when I say it's a good question, it's because so many people have asked that question that it must be a good question, right? I mean, otherwise, why would... And when I say so many people, I mean probably hundreds of thousands of people have asked, what the hell is wrong with that guy? And it's so it's a, you know, it's a very common question. It seems like kind of a pestering question because it's one of these questions that you know, I don't know if everybody asks about everybody all the time. I don't really ask questions like that. I look at people and think, you know, that guy's fucking artsy or whatever, you know. I hung out with a lot of artsy people, and you don't walk around that crowd and say, what the hell is wrong with that person, unless you're fake. It was, you know, so what I'm saying is probably the most interesting people probably don't ask that about me. They see me and they find me interesting. It's like I said, you know, these artsy people are very interesting. They're quirky. They have this depth, you know, that's like there's something under the surface there, and it's weird because it's kind of guarded. You know, they all seem to be all out in the open, you know, but there's this thing underneath that drives them. And that part of them is always kind of guarded. But if you can get to that, it's fucking interesting. So, what's up, buddy? I know, I'm just blathering on. I get told that too. You know, and that's the thing is, I'm not here to waste anybody's time, okay? I got a cup of tea. I owe Jackie Cat a dab. I should put the links in there, so if anybody else wants to get a dab, it's Dabs for Donations Friday. And Jackie Cat is, I'm just kind of getting really high from the brownies. Just a little bit really high. And it's all kind of lightheady and, you know, when I was young. Okay, so if you want to talk about what is wrong with Mike, there's the phone number. And also, I should say, you know, in the past we have heard from callers, you know, who said, you know, when I first started watching your videos, I was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? This guy is fucked up. And there was a caller a few nights ago who said, you know, how can this guy be speaking out against the police like this, you know? And he said that as he watched, he began to realize that I was right, you know? So I'm not saying this is what happens all the time, because most people don't have the time to watch, and most people that would say what the hell is wrong with this guy probably would turn away. My across the street neighbor just does not stop talking, right? nonstop. She stands out in her yard. Today she wasn't talking really loud. I mean, I could hear her from across the street when we went to go walk. I might have been able to hear it a lot of times I can hear her from a block away. So, and she lives on a busy street. So, but I was thinking, man, I've been thinking this for a couple weeks or maybe longer. But I was thinking, man, if you could sit her, because she just stands out in her yard and just fucking, rah, 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 rah. Talks. She talked about, I was telling you, she was like talking about how, Iran and Supreme Leader and Narnia, you know Narnia. And I mean, this is but at the top of her lungs, and sometimes she's literally screaming. Today she was saying goofy shit about reaming her ass and loving it. I was like, what? But I was thinking, man, if you could put her in front of a YouTube camera, a live stream, and just let her go for however long she wants to, she would make a lot of money because people wouldn't be able to turn away. What's happening? But again, I don't really ask what the hell is wrong with her. You know, I feel compassion. I feel empathy. I feel, you know, I'm pretty amazed that she can live on her own because she lives all by herself. And it's not like she's, you know, I don't know what she is. I really don't. But it's not like I go, what the hell is wrong with that person? You know? Although the very first time I did go to say hi to her, she said, keep the dogs away. Keep the dogs away. Dogs are acting crazy today. And I said, not thinking the first time that I was, you know, her passing me before she started talking loud. There was a while before she started talking loud. But she said, dogs are acting crazy. And I said, yeah, the dogs are acting crazy, which was probably not very nice, but I didn't say it angrily or anything. Yeah, the dogs are crazy. Again, I don't know. It seems like I know the neighbors that live on both sides, or all three sides of her. We live across the street, and she seems to irritate the fuck out of the other neighbors. Well, not actually one of them that lives next to them. I haven't heard. They've only been living there for a year or so, but I haven't heard them complain or anything about her. But the two, the one across the street and the one behind her. One behind her just had a baby. Like I said, she gets loud. Then they put a big old fence up, and I asked them if that helped, and they're like, no. Which, like I said, I can hear her from the end of the block. Anyways, what the hell is wrong with Mike? Any input on that? Huh? Anybody? Anyone? Bueller? There's another thing that I do, this thing where I say things that are like lines from a movie, which I guess a lot of people do, Bueller, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. And then I listen to people. It's like Manny was saying, you know, I listen to what Manny's saying, right? When I don't understand Manny, I'm like, I repeat what I understand, you know, because I want to understand, I want to be able to respond. What else is wrong with Mike? Like I said, on the first day of kindergarten, the principal sent me home from school with a note that says, does not play well with others. And my mom had to have a meeting with the principal before they were going to let me back into kindergarten. So, like I said, for a long time on record, a lot of people have asked what the hell is wrong with Mike. And you know, the thing about it is that I don't care. I do not have time to wonder whether I am sane or not. And what would be the point? To find out that you're not sane and then what? Seek help? Find out that you're not sane, and I mean, I don't have time to do this consideration. You know, and why would you want to? Especially if you're being somewhat productive, you're doing things in the world. I myself have left a mark on the world. As I said, hundreds of thousands of people have asked the question, what the hell is wrong with Mike? So it's not, and like I said, I don't know if that's a really common thing that everybody asks about everybody or whatever. I don't think about it. It's not something that I'm concerned with. I'm not concerned with what the hell is wrong with the lady across the street. I just feel empathy that she seems very, very alone, you know. And you know, when I walk by her, she's like at the top of her stairs. She has a fence around her yard. She's at the top of her stairs. I can see her, and I'm like, "Hi," which I don't think other people do. And and she starts shouting about the guy waving his arms at me like a crazy person. So even the crazy person thinks there's something wrong with me. So, like I said, it's a pretty common question. There must be something to it, right? Don't know. If you have any input, there's the number on the screen. Let's see. I owe Jackie Cat a dab. I am going to... I've prepared videos, people. mRNA vaccine creators, developers, win an award. I know you wanted to see that. Oh, and I know everyone's talking about the View clip with Kamala Harris. I have it clipped out. I think it's about 2 minutes long. I'm going to play that for you in case anyone wants to talk about what the hell is wrong with the women of the View. And I have my own input on this, so we'll get back to that momentarily. I have a video from Eric Bowling, who I've been playing a video once or twice a month, I guess, on average for the last month or so. He has like a monologue about how everything is racist now. And then I have a video about suicide among black teens, and then I have a video about workplace racism, and then I have a video about employer-forced vaccines. And when they say employer-mandated or government-mandated or, governor-mandated, state-mandated, what they're saying is forced. You know, it's not mandated. You're being forced to do this if you don't. And we'll come back to that because I think it's a very interesting topic, and I think the way these people address it is disgusting. And because of that, I also think the ladies of The View addressed it in a very disgusting manner too. And I will talk about that momentarily. But let's play that video from the ladies of The View. I know you've seen it, but there's parts of it that that the way I clipped it out, like I said, 2 minutes, but the way I clipped it out, you can see what the whole thing was about. And I'm going to play that for you. And the thing is, what I saw instantly is that these people are fake, right? When they say, oh, well, you have to get up and walk out now, and Joy Behar says, I don't know what's going on. And then they come back and they say, oh, they're tested positive, and they say, oh, this is going to be, the news. Minutes from now, this will be, breaking news because the vice president is going to be there or whatever, and people tested positive. And then, the whole thing is so fake. It's like, I don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden it's breaking news, and everyone's going to be talking about it. Gee, I wonder what's going on. Some kind of a publicity stunt, maybe? It looks like it to me. I don't know what you guys think, but I'll play that for you now and heat up the bong because I have a lovely fat dab to take for Jackie Cat. And thank you so much for tuning in, and be right back. It's only 2 minutes. Hold on. Where's it at? Clip number 3.
And there seems to be something happening here that I'm not 100% aware of. Can someone please apprise me of the situation?
I need the two of you to step off for a second.
Okay.
Anna and
we're going to bring you
Sonny
back later.
have to
Okay.
leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll tell you why.
More information later. It's a tease.
We'll tell you why in a couple of minutes. So shall I introduce the Vice President?
Yes.
Okay. So, Vice President... No.
Nope.
Okay. Shall we dance? Let's do a tap dance.
Let's look at
All right. What?
this. Let's do a short commercial and we'll come back.
Talk about what?
What else can we talk about for Hot Topics?
Okay.
Oh.
As we always do in television when we're in a tight spot, we'll be right back. So, since this is going to be a major news story any minute now,
Yeah.
what happened is that Sonny and Anna both apparently tested positive for COVID. No matter how hard we try, these things happen. They probably have a breakthrough case, and they'll be okay, I'm sure, because they're both vaccinated up the wazoo. You know, a lot of vaccines. So, we are thrilled at The View to welcome the first female vice president in American history, Kamala Harris. Yay! Okay. So, before we go into the pandemic question that I have for you, I
Yes.
just want to say, I hope that you're in a safe spot right now. We did everything we could to make sure that you were safe because we value you so much.
Well, thank you, Joy, and to everyone. And listen, Sonny and Anna are strong women, and I know they're fine, but it really also does speak to the fact that they're vaccinated, and vaccines really make all the difference, because otherwise we would be concerned about hospitalization and worse.
They are double vaccinated. So I want to start with the pandemic. President Biden said that we'd be celebrating our independence from the virus by July 4th, but nearly 80 million Americans have failed or refused to get vaccinated, and governors in some of the hardest hit states are openly rejecting health guidance. We know who they are. Is it time to get tougher with mandates and make life less pleasant for the unvaccinated?
I mean, look, here's how I feel about it.
All right, here's how I feel about it. No one cares. Is it time to get tougher on the unvaccinated? Make things uncomfortable for them? Who the fuck are these people? Right? And then they're like, oh, we don't know what's happening. Oh, right? Vaccinated up the wazoo. Double vaccinated. Do you hear that? Breakthrough case. I thought breakthrough cases were like 1 in 1,000. There's 4 people on stage and 50% of them get a breakthrough case. And they're double vaccinated up the wazoo. What's happening here? And also, you know, they're like, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. And then they're like, oh, you have to leave now. It's like, just wait until we come out of the commercial, and then we'll have you walk off, and it'll be really dramatic. And Joy will be like, what's happening? Right? And it'll be big news any minute now. You catch that all? Vaccinated up the wazoo? I bet they were. And that says it a lot, doesn't it? Camilla Harris, the vaccine, this shows how the vaccines make all the difference. I don't know. Am I the only one who finds this? See, this is another thing that's wrong with Mike, right? Is that I tend to laugh at very inappropriate moments. Craig watches a lot of dramatic TV shows and movies and stuff. It's not my bag, baby. I like things that make me smile and laugh, and I don't know. I like Chinese stuff a lot. A lot of that has weird drama in it, but most of it's all set back in 1,000 years ago or whatever. Let's see. So Camilla Harris, she's talking about how this shows, I just find that clip insane, and it says volumes. And again, this is the kind of thing that I see instantly. You know, I'm sure other people are like that. So it's not so much what's wrong with Mike as, you know, what's wrong with Mike? Okay, so from kindergarten, right? Instead of taking this little man and saying, "All right, bud, let's find out what's up with you," you know, and figure out who he was, so that we could make something good happen with him the way he is. Instead of nowadays, they would medicate you. I imagine. I remember a friend of mine had a 6-year-old, and they wanted to medicate her. She was in 1st grade, and they wanted to medicate her. And she came over and she said, do you think that she needs medication? I said, fuck no. You know? Because she would bark like a dog. People would ask her questions, she would bark like a dog. And she said, why did she do this then? I said, because no one listens to her. They tell her what to do. When she tries to tell them stuff, they don't listen. So what's the point? She barks like a dog. And lo and behold, shortly after that, she started talking to people. Again, I don't see things in the normal way. And it's been that way forever. I don't know. I don't see the benefit. I don't say the benefit of being normal. I don't see who wants that kind of life, you know? I want, like I said last night, my fantasy life really would be just to wander from place to place with my dog. I don't know if that's a possibility for me anymore, but I love the idea of like walking around the big island of Hawaii. You know, first to probably do Maui. A lot of people walk around the island of Maui. It takes about 30 days, right? I can't imagine a better adventure than being with your dog and walking around that island, that beautiful piece of paradise in the Pacific, and seeing all the beauty that people only see in TV shows and movies and stuff. Close up. And I saw a lot of it close up when I lived there, but I didn't get the chance to walk around the island. There's a couple different walks. Some of them just do half the island. It takes about 19 days. You go up the volcano and start on the top of the volcano. So, and it just seems like walking around with the dog wherever. I don't know. This seems like a nice, simple life that would be easy to enjoy, as long as you could relax and get good brownies, I suppose. Which, the way things are today, I watched Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke a couple nights ago, and it's such a great movie. It's truly a masterpiece, and it's so funny. The way they, this is their first movie, and it's just so fucking funny. It makes me laugh so hard, so many times. So if you haven't seen it, or you haven't seen it in a while, highly recommend it. I was watching it, I forgot my point. I don't know, whatever. But those guys are so smart and so funny, and they've been that way forever. And I don't know, like I said, probably this question about what's wrong with this person or that person is likely a pedestrian question, I guess. I don't know if everyone asks it about everybody. But like I said, from everybody has asked it about me. My mom, everybody has asked it about me from the time I was little. And And well, the thing about it is that I've made a mark on the world, right? I don't know. I'll get Craig to pull up the poster that we have available on the. He's got something. I don't know. I don't do the merch. But the swag. But there's a picture that someone drew of me, painted of me, and it has it shows me like in an alleyway, and I have a shopping cart, and I have the little ganache poster behind me, which is what used to be behind me whenever I do my monologues, and the shopping cart is full of TV shows. TV is full of TVs, and the TVs all have different logos of news channels, and it is really and truly a beautiful painting. And I've had a few people make really awesome art that looked like that was made from my image, and I've always been really honored by that, really like humbled, and this is one of these things where I think if I hadn't reached so many people, and if I had been more normal, I don't think I would have inspired people to draw art of me. Maybe. It's possible I am very pretty. But I shouldn't have to explain that to you. So, anybody? So, kindergarten, and then I went into 5th grade. I think I got my first stack of Playboys. Is there 5th grade or 6th grade? I think it was 5th grade. Could have been 4th grade. I got my first stack of Playboys, and I remember taking the centerfolds out and putting them into, back in the day when I was in elementary school, they have these maps that they would hang above the chalkboard. You have like a world map and a United States map and maybe like a movie screen. And I took centerfolds from the Playboy, and I taped them to I think it was the world map, and the teacher pulled it down, and I got in serious fucking trouble. And then there was another time, which I think I'm pretty sure was like 3rd grade, 2nd or 3rd grade, and used to have and I think I might have been the reason I was able to get the centerfolds into the map and these other things that I did. I don't think there was anybody in the classroom at lunchtime. Like everybody, it was a different day. Everybody just leave the classroom door open and everybody leave their stuff in there or whatever. And I remember one time when I was a kid, we had cap guns, right? And they used to make these caps, like you'd get rolled caps and you stick them in the cap gun and boom, 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 boom. It's like, and it's like, pro-gun, pro-violence. They seem to try and desensitize you from a young age, get them while they're young. But they had cap guns, right? And they had the red roll-up caps. And then they had these green caps, which were sticky, right? They had adhesive on the back. So they came in like a little sheet, and you'd peel them off, and they were round. They were smaller than a dime, right? And I took a bunch of those one time, and I turned desk over, right? We had these little desks that you would all sit in individually, and they had like a little rack below, and you take your books and you put the books underneath you. And I turned the desk over, and I put the sticky caps on the bottom, on the feet of the desk. And then everybody came back into the classroom and started sitting down. And from the second they sat down, caps started going off, and then they, went off more. And and it came, they came to the conclusion it was me fairly quickly. I don't know why, and one of the things I didn't think about in doing that was that it filled the room with this gunpowdery smoke. That the caps would have some kind of gunpowder in them or something that was highly, ignitable, and so it would have this gunpowdery smoke spill, and it just filled the entire room with smoke. Not like you couldn't see or anything, but enough to where people were like, "The fuck is wrong with you?" I don't know. I just wanna, it's not that I want attention. I don't want attention. I want to make people smile. Maybe is that it, you think? Pulling down the centerfolds from a map, I want to make people smile. Naked girls make me smile. Maybe that's wrong with Mike. And I think this is a big part of what's wrong with Mike, is that, from the time I talked about this, about the getting kicked out of kindergarten and everything, from the time I was little, I don't know if I was inspired by Pepe Le Pew or what it was, but I would in kindergarten. I remember tackling girls and started macking on them, just like Pepe Le Pew style, right? All up on that, and that was why they sent me home, asking what the hell were wrong with this boy, and threatening to send me to a special school. I'm glad my mom was there. She regardless of how many times she asked what the hell is wrong with that boy, she was always there for me. Like I said, from early days, and I think maybe the girl thing was part of it. Girls just kind of always made me crazy. Like, mwah, mwah, mwah. I can't help it. Can't help it. So that could have something to do with it. I think partially that girls make you crazy. Girls are everywhere. So, I don't know. And then there's like a bazillion other things, of course. I know, I'm just holding the bong. I should do a dab. I know. Hello, caller.
Michael, you sexy son of a bitch. It's your boy.
What's up, Pete?
What's up, G? How you doing, dog?
I'm good. I mean, I have sorrow in my heart for my girl. But
I heard about that.
I'm fine. Thanks.
I saw the bit. Well, I don't know how it happened, but I saw that dog died. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. That shit's devastating.
Yeah. It is what
Was it an accident, or was it like just like a disease, or was it like a natural passing, or?
Yeah, all of a sudden she had a lump in her lung, and then it went pretty quickly.
All right. That sucks, dude.
Yeah, it was.
That's just equally as bad as people dying. Dude, I remember one time, right? My buddy had this rescue dog. So he called me. He's like, "Hey, man, my dog's like not getting up and stuff. I need you to help me put him down tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay." So the next day I show up, and I walk in the door, and he's playing. I don't know if you ever heard this song, but the song "I Love My Dog" by Sublime, which I think they covered. I think Bad Brains did too. I think it's an old Jamaican song, but it's like, I love my dog. He was playing that song, and it's a very emotional, dog-loving song. Never heard it, and so right up there, immediately I start like, tearing up a little bit as soon as I hear that when I walk in the door, and then I walk up the stairs, and he's like bawling his eyes out, his poor dog. It's a big like lab like pit bull mix. This thing has like a head like a T-Rex. He was a big boy, and he wasn't moving. We had to put this poor guy in a bed sheet, and you know, like we were in Vietnam or something. You know, like he got fucking blown up by like a grenade or something. We had to carry him out of there in a stretcher, and put him in the car and go to the vet. It was terrible. It was awful. So, yeah. So I sympathize with you, dog. That's just tough. That's just tough to go through. And then you go there, and the vets are always like, "Oh my God, your dog's so cute," and it's like, "Yeah, he's cute. Yeah, he's very."
Yeah.
cute.
Did you watch my video?
No, I didn't. I didn't at all.
Yeah, my dog died in my arms. Okay. Other people wanted to take it to the vet, and I said no. I don't want her to die alone. My dog died in my arms, and she died the way I hoped she would. It was just a little sooner than I hoped. That's all. So I don't really want to talk about that right now. You should watch the video, though. I think it's a pretty good video.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I just wanted to share my experience because I know how emotional that shit is. This stuff. But yeah. Anyways, on happier notes, I'm sure you're doing all right. Besides that, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Don't sound so confident about that.
I'm fine.
I'm good.
Look, man. You hear Chris ask me that question every time he calls, and I say exactly the same thing. I'm fine. It's you know, I have people ask me that question when I go out and walk, right? Every day they're like, "How you doing?" Right? And I'm not saying that you're them out on the walk and that you don't give a fuck, but they don't want to know how I'm doing. You know, what they want me to say is, "I'm good. How are you?"
Like that, dude. I meant it genuinely.
and I don't understand why people ask it. So they say, "How are you?" And I always say, one of the things I say is, "It's a beautiful day for a walk, huh?" You know, because that's a stupid fucking question. No offense. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying.
Well, nice to fucking talk to you too, motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
I already answered it also.
Michael, I'm gonna take a fucking hit off my big ass fucking bone right now. I don't know if you're gonna join me.
I've been trying to get I'm eating new brownies.
Fucking heads out there.
Have you made any fucking brownies or gummies or anything yet?
Nothing. I've been on the smoke train exclusively.
Dude, you need to eat marijuana.
I know. I've been fucking telling myself every week I'm going to make a batch. It's just never get around to it. I'm on the smoke train, and it's so nice.
Dude, I made a fresh batch of butter 2 days ago and made my first batch of brownies from it today. It's really nice. Tell you what.
Yeah, especially since I haven't had edibles in a while.
Yeah.
Just the first batch that I have is going to blow my balls off. It's going to be awesome. This one's for you, Michael. And that's some tasty can of herbs.
Got plans for the weekend?
Cool, dude. I was going to, but it's fucking gonna rain. I live in Massachusetts now.
How's the new job?
It's pretty good. It's cool. I'm trying to find. So I live in the Boston area, and I'm trying to find good places to ride the scat boards.
Right on.
And there's trails all along the Charles River. I don't know if you know what that is, but it goes right through the middle of Boston.
No, I don't know what it is, but I bet you there's a lot of cool places to ride there.
Well, Well, there's a weird cycling culture in Massachusetts where there's so many people that ride bikes. It's almost mind-blowing. It's not like that in Rhode Island, which is like right next to it. But yeah, there's cycling. It's a big culture over there.
Yeah, those bike riders are very cliquish, man. I wave to them all the time.
So,
If they're in a group, they never wave back. I wave to everybody. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" You know, they're very cliquish.
but there's so many in Boston, especially. Like you can navigate the whole goddamn city by bike paths.
That's awesome,
Very
man.
bike path connected.
Yeah, that's
So I gotta
friggin'
try to
awesome. That's how it should be everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can. So I'm gonna check it out and try not to get lost on my skateboard. And there's just paths that go right along the Charles River. So I'm just gonna get high. It's illegal, so I can smoke weed and ride my skateboard along the Charles River.
Getting
Well, it's still kind of warm out. That would be cool.
yeah, no, I wouldn't be too concerned with getting lost. Getting lost would be part of the adventure.
Yeah, just stay along the river. Can't really get lost as long as you do that, right? You'd be surprised. No, dude, Boston's crazy. Like Boston is nuts. Like navigation wise, there's so many crazy. It's a really old city. So like the roadways, there's so many weird roads. There's so many it's so easy to get lost in Boston. It's crazy. Anyways.
Sounds like quite an adventure you're headed towards. I kind of envy you because it sounds like a pretty nice spot.
Yeah, it's nice. It's crazy though. Lots of people. Go on a bike path. You got to dodge people. It's almost like a highway out there.
That's a little too crowded for me. I like to take the dogs on the walk. If that's the way it is, you can't have dogs.
That's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm gonna fucking be trying to swerve around people. I'm gonna fucking take out some fucking old lady and be like, oh my goodness, what have I done? I'm terrible.
You won't do that. Highly unlikely.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly right. I'll probably be good. It's crazy though. It gets congested, bro. Especially on the weekends when it's nice. It's like, damn. You gotta be careful out there. Anyways. What's up with Joe Biden, bro?
Joe
feel like being
Biden.
cool now?
Joe Biden
Has he
is.
chilled out?
I think Joe Biden is in over his head. That's what's up with Joe Biden.
Mm-mm-mm. How's Craig doing, dude? Yo, shout out Craig. What's up, Craig?
He's overworked like always. Right now he's downstairs working remotely with one of his clients. He said he'll do the phone calls after he gets done working remotely with his client. So he likes doing the phone calls. He likes talking to people,
Goddamn Craig. Fucking working bastard.
Yeah.
How dare he?
It's a dog-eat-dog world,
You ain't gotta tell me, brother. Not you, though. You ain't on the hamster wheel like the rest of us. Consider yourself lucky.
I do consider myself lucky. I consider myself very, very, very lucky. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. I have no money. I'm 2 months late on rent. And
well, it's like Big E said, man. More money, more problems, man. The more responsibility you have in life, more you wish you didn't have.
Well, that's what I see happening a
I'd
lot.
say as I rip this bong load of pot.
That's what I see happening a lot, Pete, is, that, like you said, the more money you have, the more responsibilities you have. I don't think responsibilities make people all that happy. Some of them.
And with these corporate goals, bro, it's always like everyone's got to constantly be, I'm not saying you shouldn't have goals and shit, but you always got to be like trying to do the biggest next thing. Like, not just trying to be creative.
Right.
About that, right?
Yeah, that's I mean, I really want to write more, and I would. I'm not sure how to get there at the moment. I used to write all the time, and at the moment I'm having trouble getting it started again. But
Not eating enough marijuana, Michael.
no, I don't think that's true. Although for a couple weeks there, I was not eating enough marijuana. Actually, it was about 10 days, and that does not work for me well at all. Wow. Where the fuck is that? There is a deep dish pizza on the TV right now. Oh my God, look at this. Look at that pizza. Holy.
Ew. Deep dish?
Deep dish.
How dare you?
With
I live on the East Coast, dude. You can't even talk about pizza with me. Let's not even start the discussion.
Yeah, okay. Man.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, I just wanted to check in on you and say hellos. Make sure you're doing good.
It's always nice to hear from you, Pete. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying your new place of employment, and it sounds like you're liking where you live too, which is awesome.
It's all good in the hood, dog. We got it on lock out here. We're keeping the neighborhood on lock. It's all cool.
Good deal.
All right, G.
Thanks for
Take it
calling.
easy.
It's good to hear
Easy.
from you.
No problem. Praise Allah.
You said you'd watch that video. Don't forget.
Which one? I already forgot.
The one, the tribute to Sammy.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. That's not what you said, dude. I don't need that right now. I'll do it later.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right, Tom. Peace out.
I don't want to do that right now. Ellie. So, as I can say, there's lots of stuff wrong with Mike. There's always been stuff wrong with Mike. It's, and I have never had a problem with it. It's very strange, I myself have never really had a big problem with the fact that there's something wrong with Mike. Like I said, I don't have time. I don't have time to think about it. I don't have time to think if it's proper or not. I know that, like I said, people I've inspired works of art, and hundreds of thousands of people have asked that same question. What the hell is wrong with Mike? So, one way or another, I've left a mark, and I thought it was a good question. I thought we could have a discussion about it. It doesn't really matter because, like I said, I don't really care. So anyways, I thought the video from The View was good, and it says a lot, and if you didn't see it, you should watch it again. I'm not going to play it now. If anybody wants me to watch it, play it again later, I will. But I think it says everything about what happened there. They said, oh, I don't know what's going on. And then they come back from the commercial and they say, okay, you ladies have to go off. So they wait for this dramatic moment to build up. And then they send the ladies off. And why would they do that? If they're like, oh, you have this deadly, super contagious virus. So just wait here around all the other people. And when the commercial comes back on, we'll send you off stage. There's just so much to that video. And she's like, oh, it's going to be big news tomorrow. Like, see this thing, like this whole dramatic shit that they know everybody's going to be talking about. And why would they pull a stunt like that? Who could guess? All right, I have to heat up my tea. I have to refreshen my lemonade. I have to, and I have a video here. We need to start this video because we're going to have this discussion. If not tonight, one night soon. And it's just that this is a crazy person talking. Okay, so don't take it too seriously. What was the last one? Oh, the ladies of The View. We should probably play that one again, but not at the moment. I'm going to go heat up my tea and refreshen my lemonade and then have a puff for Jackie Cat. I will be back momentarily. This is clip number 10. Clip number 10. Right there. Ready? Boom.
A bit, but first, remember the song It's a Small World After All from Disney? Remember that? And the fact is, a lot of countries don't like each other no matter where in the world you go. India doesn't like Pakistan and vice versa. North Korea hates South Korea, and I can go on and on. Think about all the wars and conflicts on the globe, even as we speak. No one has a monopoly on hate, but you can almost find it anywhere. You know, the UN General Assembly is meeting just a few blocks away in New York. And I thought, although I have some issues with those clowns on the East River, it's kind of comforting a little bit in some way that some folks make an effort to bring us all together while others attempt to drive us apart.
To my left is the hanged.
Why are you stoking racism where it doesn't exist?
We
don't want your racism in Texas. Get out of here. Nobody wants to hear your racist nonsense in Del Rio.
As people,
You're a racist.
Gotta love that. Al Sharpton is a known race baiter, constantly injecting himself into heated situations to get publicity and stir the pot. And for the first time ever, I think, that to exploit those poor Haitians at the border to raise his own profile. Well, I guess it was kind of interesting to see. He was getting yelled at, but it kind of heartened me that he was finally called out for being what I believe he really is. And he's not the only one. There's a certain group of race brokers, race traffickers, and race merchants as well. These are people who use race to get what they want. Now, let me give you an example of each. I define a race broker as someone who pulls the race card when they see an opportunity to insert themselves into the story. Maxine Waters is a great example of a race broker. She's not one to use race all the time, just when she thinks she can make herself relevant using the race card. Now watch Representative Waters somehow inject herself into the Haitian migrant story on board her own race card.
I'm pissed. I'm unhappy, and I'm not just unhappy with the cowboys who were running down Haitians and using their reins to whip them. I'm happy with the administration. What we witnessed takes us back hundreds of years. What we witnessed was worse than what we witnessed in slavery.
Okay, whatever you say, Maxine, turns out the cowboys weren't whipping the Haitians, and worse than slavery. Are you kidding me? Surely you're joking. All right, next up, the race trafficker. This is someone who deals in race 24/7. Everything has a race angle to it. Even when there's no racial problem, they'll find one or fabricate one. Joy Reid is a race trafficker. Joy will rig up a racial problem with everything she sees and touches. Watch here how Joy can't even let America mourn a poor little Gabby Petito before Joy Reid finds some racial outrage to apply to it.
But the way this story has captivated the nation has many wondering, why not the same media attention when people of color go missing? Well, the answer actually has a name: missing white woman syndrome, the term coined by the late and great Gwen Ifill to describe the media and public fascination with missing white women like Lacey Peterson or Natalie Holloway, while ignoring cases involving missing people of color.
Everything's race. Missing white girl syndrome, really, Joy? Give America a break. This is a grieving nation, grieving the loss of a beautiful young girl. Zero to do with the color of her skin. And stop it already. You're causing more racial tension in America than anyone walking on earth. The third category is the race merchant. Race merchants uses race to make money. Lots and lots of money. Al Sharpton is the world's biggest race merchant. Al Sharpton is the Walmart of race merchants. Sharpton will do anything, go anywhere if he can make a buck off of it by showing up. No better example of this than this past Thursday with the appearance at the border. With the border in chaos, what the heck is Sharpton doing dropping in? For the money, of course, and of course at times this obsession of race veers into madness. Take a look at this video of two white college students just hanging out in a multicultural lounge, trying to do schoolwork on a campus when they're confronted by two black female students.
We've got a Police Lives Matter sticker and we're getting kicked out. Can't do school.
Nobody's
You just said we have to leave.
No, I said you're making the space uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
But you're white. Do you understand what a multicultural space? It means you're not being centered.
White's not a culture?
No. No, it's not a culture. It's white is not a culture. Say it again to the camera.
White's not a culture. What? You see what I mean? And by the way, this week, Black Lives Matter leaders claim that vaccine mandates are racist, as so many blacks have not gotten the vaccine. So, while on one side there are racists, and on the other side there are race brokers, traffickers, and race merchants. Sure, there's racism in America. White people are racist too. I get it, there is. But it's not everywhere. It's not systemic. It's not everybody. It's a fine fraction of actual people. But it is destructive nonetheless, all of it. Meanwhile,
this dab is for Jackie Cat. Sorry it took so long, Shug. Having trouble getting to it. That brownie's pretty good. For Jackie Cat. Ooh. Ah. All right. It is Dabs for Donation Friday. Thank you so much, Jackie Cat. Jackie Cat donated. She cheated today, and she donated before the show even started. Like an hour before the show started. She's like, I want to be first. Which is probably a good plan, considering how long it took me to get to that one. Next week, I think maybe I will move the flower press onto the desk here, and we'll try and press flowers live on the YouTube, because some people don't really know what it is that I'm doing. Like, I mean, they kind of understand it, but I want you to see that there's like, it's just cannabis that's pressed at high pressure with a little bit of heat, and you get this lovely golden goo. And I love the golden goo. Generally, unless I'm on camera and it's Dabs for Donations Friday, I don't smoke a whole lot of it. I do 3 or 4 puffs generally, and it's nice because you just do a little puff and you're good. Plus, you know, I eat the brownies, I eat cannabis. You need to eat more cannabis. I eat the cannabis, and that kind of keeps you good, you know, just kind of like, yeah, I'm good. But you take a puff in the morning, you know, maybe in the afternoon before you get before your second brownie kicks in, you're like, I better have a puff. 1 during the show, 2 during the show, but that's mostly theatrical. Now, where were we, right? What the hell is wrong with Mike? Good question. Is anyone discussing this? Anyone talking about this? Just me? I guess that's nice. There was somebody who called last night that was like, what the hell is wrong with Mike? And he wanted to tell us all what it was, and I guess I don't know where that person is this evening. The do not disturb is not on. The phone's connected. It's coming straight through to me. No one's gonna censor you. Well, that's probably not something I should be saying. Because generally a Craig firewall is probably a pretty good idea. So there is, let me think, where does that one go? Let's see. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else wants to talk about this. Oh, I know what it was. I was gonna say, so the way I got here onto the YouTube is, again, I'm trying to give the backstory of what the hell is wrong with Mike, right? I talked about my childhood years, from like 20 to 30, I just traveled around. I was like a fine dining waiter, so I would go and find a job here, a job there. Nice restaurant. You always get to eat good food. Generally, you only have to work 4 or 5 hours and make good money. And it's not back-breaking work. So, but I digress. When I was moving to Seattle, right before I moved to Seattle, I was living in California, and I had a job offer in San Diego. Very nice restaurant. It's right on the water. It's called the Chart House. Like all these different charts on the walls and stuff. It's very cool. Would have been excellent money. And San Diego, pretty. San Diego's pretty. And then they offered me a job. I went down, I did an interview, and I said, I have a trip to Seattle scheduled. I'm gonna be gone for the next 10 days. And they said, well, yeah, you can have a couple weeks. So I went to Seattle, and I got into the airport, and I got on a bus headed for Seattle, right? It said Seattle. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get on this bus. I got on a bus headed towards Seattle, and I told the bus driver that I needed find a hotel or motel that was, had a weekly rate. And he's like, okay. And he drives me out to like Hooker Central, right? And it's raining. And he says, there's hotels all up and down here, right? So I get off the bus at Hooker Central, not having any idea where the hell I'm at. Whether it's downtown, I don't know. It's my first minute in Seattle, right? And there's a motel across the street called the Geisha. The Geisha. And, you know, as in Japanese female servant type of person. So the Geisha, I think it was a Geisha Inn. Anyways, I went across the street. I told the guy, hey, I need a place to stay for a week. And he said, yeah, it's this much money. I said, okay. And he gave me a place around behind the building, right? There's just like a narrow walkway, and pretty much nobody would bother you back there. Again, this was back 25 years ago, so. But I went to this motel. You know, I got off the bus from the airport. I went to this Geisha Inn. And I got a room for a week, and it rained every single day that I was in Seattle when I came to check it out. Right, so I traveled into downtown, which was about 3 or 4 miles, maybe 5 miles away tops. And downtown is very interesting. It's pretty. Like I said, though, it's raining. So I traveled downtown. I went to a bookstore. I found a book about best restaurants in Seattle. I think it was top 100 restaurants or something like that. I got that. I looked at it. A lot of the restaurants look very interesting. As I said, you know, you want to work somewhere nice. I like serving good food. I like being able to put down a really nice plate of food in front of somebody, because people love good food, and you will make them very, very happy if you can get their order right and it's good. You know, like, that was great. You know what I mean? So I like that. It's a very instant gratification kind of a job. So it looked like there was a lot of really cool restaurants. And anyways, like I'm saying, it rained and rained and rained for 7 days. And so there wasn't a whole lot of restaurants around that I noticed. There was a Larry's Market across the street, catty corner, and an IHOP in the same little plaza. And at the Larry's, it was interesting. I'd never been to a market like that. It was like an upscale market. You go in and they have like 7 different kinds of chicken. You know, they have like 3 different kinds of baked chicken, or 4 different kinds of baked chicken, and then 3 different kinds of fried chicken. You're like, wow, this is cool. Anyways, I know, but whatever. But I ate there a lot. This is why that's important. I would go there and get food regularly, and I loved it. And so I would go there, get a big old half a chicken or whatever, and a bunch of JoJo potatoes or who knows what else, and come back to the room, and I would watch TV mostly because it's dumping rain outside, you know? Oh, by the way, the other restaurant that was close by was Master Burger, which was a drive-in where you pull up to and park your car, and somebody comes out to your car and takes your order, right? It was a drive-in, and they had the best fucking grilled ham and cheese sandwich. It had a turkey melt. Oh, so good. But I digress. So it rained and rained and rained. And so most of my time I was in the room, right? And I'm watching TV and I'm flipping through all the channels on the TV. And I find this public access channel, right? And I do not remember ever watching a public access channel. And spending all my time in this room, it came to be that that was the channel that I watched almost constantly, right? So I'm watching this channel, and you know what I started to think, you know what? If these people can make TV, I can make TV. And I was like, all right, I got to look this place up and go talk to these people, right? So they had a telephone number on the bottom of the screen at the beginning and the ending of every show, you know. So I called the phone number, and they said, yeah, anyone who's a resident of Seattle can make television. You have to take a couple classes, and then you have different options available to you, right? And I was like, really? And I'm like, yeah. So I said, so where exactly are you located at? Because I'd like to come down and talk, you know, and see if there's applications and stuff like that. And she said, we're located at, you know, 199, which was Aurora Boulevard, right? It was like a main thoroughway. So it's 100 and Ave and 99 Aurora Boulevard. So I go outside, and 100 and Aurora was directly across the street from the Geisha Motel. In the dumping rain, I only had to walk a block to get there. And I had no idea. And I was like, this is a sign, right? Again, what the heck is wrong with Mike? Anyways, long story short, I went back to California, and I called the guys in San Diego and said, yeah, I'm not going to be able to take that job offer. And I went back to California, and I got all my stuff, and my mom was like, why are you moving to Seattle, right? And I lived in Maui for a couple of years. You know, I couldn't get her to listen. She lived in the same town as me, and she loved me to death. Like I said, she's the one who protected me for a long time. But got all my stuff, said, I'm moving to Seattle. She said, why are you moving to Seattle? It rains there all the time. I said, which it did. It rained 7 days that I was there. I said, I'm going to learn how to make TV, right? And like, what? I'm going to learn how to make TV. Okay. And I went there, and I found a job, got settled, and then I went to go make television, and took a couple classes. Only had to take 2 or 3 classes, and then I started making live TV. And like 4 shows into making live TV, they said there's something wrong with this guy, and we can't have him making TV here. And they kicked me off TV. And then it became like this big deal, right? You know, local television maker censored, right? So they were having a press conference about why they were kicking me off TV. And in the press conference, the manager of the television station comes out, and she says, well, this is the way it is, and you know, we don't allow this, and he's not allowed to make TV here anymore. And she says, does anyone have any questions? And everyone turned and looked at me, right? All these news stations, reporters and stuff. And they look at me, and they start saying stuff, and I'm like, and they say, go up to the microphone. So I went up to the microphone, and one of the reporters says, do you have an attorney? And I said, no. And this guy walks up to the stage, up to the microphone, the podium, and leans in and says, "I'm his attorney." And I looked at him and I said, "Who are you?" And he hands me his card and it says, "President of the ACLU." I was like, this guy's my attorney. And then it became this long thing, and a lot of people got attention, and the thing is, right, is that if I hadn't, if it concerned me what the heck is wrong with Mike, if it was really something I was concerned with, I would never have done this. I never would have been the front page of the Seattle Times, which I was multiple times. And the thing is that when I was doing this, right, I started to learn how to do stuff digitally, because this was at the beginning of like everybody beginning to have the internet at home. So I learned how to make HTML pages and how to digitize videos, and I started uploading videos, and it was hard to find space then because bandwidth was very expensive, right? So anyways, I continue to make TV, continue to be like all the news stations are doing interviews with me, and this person contacts me, right, and he says, "We'd like to have a meeting with you." And it turns out it was the owner of the company that was using the most bandwidth on the internet at the time. The company was called IEG, Internet Entertainment Group. "We'd like to have a meeting with you." And I was like, okay. Craig's like, I get to go. So, we went to meet, and it wasn't like some figurehead of this company. It was the owner of the company, and we had a conversation, and it was interesting. They asked me, if I would do my show on their servers, right? And I was like, well, we're looking for somewhere where we can put the shows, the recorded shows, we can upload them so people can have access to them. Like, no problem, right? So we start doing live shows. And he's like, "Hey, what the fuck are you guys doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean, what are we doing?" He's like, "You're fucking crashing our servers on the East Coast and the West Coast." "I don't know, we're doing what you asked me to do. Isn't that what you want?" People to come in and go, "What the hell? Where did this all come from?" So it was weird. But, again, if I was worried about what the hell is wrong with Mike, I don't think I would have ever had a meeting with this person who has the company that's using the most bandwidth on the internet at the time. And then I met this billionaire guy, right, who he would come and help out on the show from time to time. And I remember when V for Vendetta came out, he calls me and he's like, "Dude, you gotta come watch this movie." So I was like, okay, I'm not real big on theaters and, sitting for however long. But he said, "You got to come see this movie." So that he had never done that before. He's a billionaire. I'm sure he's got plenty of other things to do. And it's really weird. It was always really weird to me that he wanted me to go and watch the movie with him because, I'm sure he has a lot of other choices. Anyways, we're having lunch before the movie, and he's like, "Okay, I only have one rule." And I'm like, "Rule?" And he said, "Yeah." He says, "No talking during the movie," right? Okay. I don't talk during movies. I get that. So we go in, and watch the movie, and fucking, it's awesome. It's awesome movie. V for Vendetta. If you haven't seen it, it's very much about what's going on now. So it's an awesome, awesome movie. We're watching it, and then John Huston comes on the screen, and John Huston, they would do these close-ups of him, right? And on the big screen, it's like his head's gigantic, and his eyes were like, the pupils were just, you know, like totally black basketballs, you know. And that's what I said. I leaned over to him and I go, his pupils are like black basketballs. And he looks at me and he goes, "What did I say?" I'm like, I don't know. Really, what I meant to say is, I don't give a fuck. You know, that's not the way that you speak to an invited guest, okay? So, but he would invite us to parties, and he had a beautiful house down on the water, and I loved that house. I fucking loved that house. But he would invite us to parties, and there'd be, you know, like naked sushi girls, where like a girl would be at a table and they put sushi all over. I'm like, wow, how trendy of you. I don't know. There was always some weird thing, like some girls strolling like and playing the guitar topless, you know. It's like nudity is like an edgy thing. I don't know. But it was interesting. Like I said, parties for me is go to somewhere calm and just, you know, smoke a bowl or whatever. So Craig, and then Craig went with me to a bunch of those parties, and he swears that Jeff Bezos was at one of those parties. So, and again, if I was concerned about what the hell is wrong with Mike, I don't think, number one, I ever would have met this person. Number two, I would have been going to, you know, these parties with these posh individuals because that's not me. I don't want to, you know, rub elbows. So anyways, but whatever. But like I'm saying, I don't think I would have got a meeting with the person using the most bandwidth on the internet. I don't think I would have got, I would have met this person, and because, you know, and then I wouldn't have gone to, even more so, right? Than you know, having the attorney, the president of the ACLU, you know, having the billionaire, even more so than that. You know, I wouldn't, if I was asking what the hell is wrong with Mike, I wouldn't have done the things that I did. Like, I wouldn't have had the confidence to go to a party where there are billionaires or whatever. I would not have had the confidence to go there because I would have been not only concerned with myself thinking what is wrong with Mike, but all the other people. So, and the truth is, again, this is something that's been asked since I was 5 years old, at least documented since I was 5. I'm sure it happened a whole lot more before that. So, right, if I was really concerned what the hell is wrong with Mike, right, if it mattered to me, I wouldn't have the confidence to go to parties like that. Not that I had any confidence, not that I was like going on. I was just like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. They're going to go, what the hell is wrong? In fact, we walked into one party, and someone, like, after I got 10 feet into the door, it was a pajama party, and I was wearing a beautiful silk robe. And after we got 10 feet into the door, someone stepped in front of me. This, This woman wearing glasses asking me, "Do you belong here?" No, obviously not. Hello, caller.
Michael.
Yeah.
Well, the title of the show is "What the Hell is Wrong with Mike?" Right?
Yes.
I think you are demonstrating to everybody right now exactly what the fuck is wrong with you.
What is that? To be more specific?
To be more specific, you're a fucking narcissist.
Okay.
You're demonstrating that.
Because that's what I do. Every show is talk about me. This show is about me and my backstory, and I'm explaining that as clearly as I can.
Well, that's what the fuck is wrong with you.
Okay. Just because you don't have a backstory worthy of listening to, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with me trying to share my backstory.
Well, my story is very interesting, but it's the show's not about me, Mike. It's about you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how can I not tell the backstory of what the hell is wrong with Mike without at least hitting some of these high points?
Well, okay. Look, I wrote it all out. I mean, I spent time on this. I spent time today on it.
Good.
What's wrong with you? So you want to hear everything that's wrong with you? I can do it alphabetically.
I
mean, are you ready? Are you ready for it, Mike?
Actually, I really need to have a piss.
Well, you can go take a piss.
Okay.
You play video and take a piss, and I'll wait and.
Okay.
I have it alphabetically listed out.
Good. All right, let me play a video, and I'll be right back. Okay, give me like 4 minutes. Okay.
Take your time, Mikey.
All right, be right back. Okay. This video is about workplace racism, which is a very important topic at this time. Be right back.
So more than 13% of Americans are working from home because of the pandemic. That according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
A new survey found most wanted to stay that way, but especially Black employees. Facing Race reporter Kristen Ayers found out the reason for that is racism.
We Wear the Mask by Paul Laurence Dunbar. There's a poem about the faces we share, the faces we show, which you display to people to be able to function.
Long before the pandemic, Tisha Held was wearing a mask.
We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes while we wear the mask.
An invisible one.
You smile to hide the fear and the anger and the pain.
Every hour of every day she spent at the large financial institution where she works as an auditor.
You have to have these two separate lives.
Her life at home, where she was her whole self, and her life at work, where as the only Black person in her department, the mask rendered her a shadow of herself.
There's already an idea of who you are. You have to always be conscious of how you present to other people.
Hands up!
Am I being too loud? Am I fitting into very specific stereotypes? If I come in and say, I'm having a hard day. I don't even know if I want to be here right now because another Black person just got murdered. I don't think people really have the capacity to take on someone else's energy.
Would you call it isolating?
Most definitely.
It's an isolation that is painfully familiar to people of color in the workplace, from encountering racist jabs known as microaggressions to being overlooked for promotions. But some of that changed when the pandemic hit. A survey by the Slack think tank Future Forum found that Black employees experienced less stress and their sense of belonging skyrocketed 50% once they started working from home.
Slack's survey finds 97% of Black knowledge workers want the future of the office to be remote or hybrid. Not surprising. I think people having gone through this past year and experiencing the constant cuts from microaggressions and the fatigue of living through the pandemic are just tired. And to go back to what they knew after having experienced some level of relief, don't want to go back to that.
For Tisha, working from home wasn't just an escape. It was a chance to be herself.
It was great to be in this sea of people.
To march with her family after George Floyd was killed.
Wanting to see change.
To unmask herself at work.
I volunteered and said, at where I work, I would like to do this. I wrote an article. The title of the article is Why is Self-Reflection Not Enough? Self-reflection is not enough if you want to be an ally.
What was it like bringing that part of yourself to your professional environment when that's normally not something that you do?
I think it was that gate that needed to be opened. I do a lot of things outside of work, but then doing it at work really did help me bring more of myself forward because I don't want to wear a mask. I do want to be my full authentic self. I want to be able to show up in any space with any person and be Tisha 100% all the way through.
That Slack study concluded in order to give Black employees a greater sense of belonging, employers should embrace flexible work as part of their central principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
There's diversity in our jobs, but there's a lack of inclusion. And stop just looking at the surface, but doing more self-interrogation because that's going to be uncomfortable. And then they're going to figure out what those gaps are to push past it.
Kristen Ayers reporting. And if you have a story idea you'd like to send to the Facing Race team, email us at race@king5.com.
All right, so and I want to say that in the monologue by Eric Bolling, one of the things he said was that vaccine mandates are now racist, and I believe that vaccine mandates are racist as well as unconstitutional. What was that now?
You back, Mike?
Yes.
Now you got me thinking about vaccine mandates. Don't take the fucking vaccine. Don't do it.
Do what you need to do. Don't tell me what to do.
Do whatever. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's your choice.
Yeah.
I'd say don't do it, but no.
Yeah, do what you need to do.
No, whatever's right for you.
Right. That's what I say.
If the vaccine makes your dick bigger, I'm all about it. But if it makes your balls fall off, that's not a good trade-off.
Yeah, well, I don't really want to think about those things.
Are you taking the vax, Mike?
This is the big problem. I've said again and again that I have not, and I have not. But the big problem is that somehow people think it's now okay to ask whether or not you're vaccinated. And it's not, just as it's not okay to ask that at the store, it's not okay to ask that at a restaurant, it's not okay to ask that at a gaming event or wherever else, including travel. Maybe travel, because I guess you can be asked that about other vaccines, but I just don't think getting into a restaurant, that should be an acceptable question. Or, and that's partially the problem. You just asked me if I'm vaccinated, and it's like becoming this normal thing to ask people. And I just don't think that's the way the world should be. But then again, I don't think the way the world should be is a lot of things.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Make it very hard to bust your chops right now, but
But you have a list.
I'm committed.
Well, you have a list. It can't be that difficult.
Well, I mean, Mox, you know, it's day after day with your fucking nonsense, and you know, I mean, I did it alphabetically as a joke, but no, I like you, but you know, you're fucked up. You're a fucked up dude.
If I wasn't the experience that I've had, and this is the point of me talking this way, you may perceive me as fucked up, okay? I have left a mark on the world, and anybody, yeah,
you left a mark on the world, all right, like a fucking skid mark, Mikey.
Okay.
Well, I mean, look at the track record, bro. You know, the H is the Huffington Post for me, and you know, you tout being used as propaganda as some sort of good fucking thing. Like you're proud of this. You're oh, and the Huffington Post put me in, but like you're proud that like you've contributed to the fucking machine of propaganda. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you? But you're against the machine of propaganda. That's why you exist, you know, as Mox News. So it doesn't jive, right? Yeah.
Well, the way that I post a video is always very clear that I'm against the propaganda and eye-opening to try and show the propaganda more clearly. And Huffington Post pulled those videos off of my work. I didn't go, here you go, Huffington Post, here you go. They pulled those videos with my titles explaining, okay? And if she's linking to the Mox News page, which is very, as you said, you know, freedom oriented, then, you know, which all the videos, you put the video on there, it links back to your page. So I don't know what you think it is that you're trying to say, but I can tell you that they don't like what I do, but I'm too fucking good at it for them not to be able to use it.
They certainly don't like what you do now.
They never did.
However, I unfortunately for me, go back as far as your Huffington Post. I remember all this, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
The Huffington Post at the time also touted the Iraq War. Then they used you as a you know, oh, look, we were, you know, people got it so wrong. You were just a tool. You were just used. You were a cog in the machine. You know, so I don't know, you know, whatever, you know, tout it for what you know, it's a proud moment in your life, I suppose. But I don't see why it's so fucking good. I'd be ashamed of the fact. It'd be like if the fucking New York Times, you know, said, "Oh, you fucking jackass caller said this,
okay,
that,
well,
the other thing."
How about Russia Today using 3 or 4 of my videos, at least that I know of for sure, on their television program? So my videos on their television program. How about that? Is that like the destructor, the propaganda? I know it's propaganda, but it was pretty damn good news, actually, I thought. It's not really, it's less propaganda than what we get in the United States. They posted my videos on their TV, not their website, on their TV, you know, at least 3 times. And I'm pretty sure it was more than that. Now, how about Iranian state television? Iranian state television took one of my videos and played it on their news, Iranian state news, okay? Now, when they did that, the title of the video was "The douchebag doesn't fall far from the tree," as in the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The douchebag doesn't fall far from the tree, and Iran picked that up and used it, and it was fucking powerful video about nuking Iran from a fucking congressman. Okay, so I don't know what it is you think I've done, but the vast majority about it had nothing to do with me being a narcissist. Had everything to do with doing my best to open eyes. And yeah, people were like, man, this is good. Let's get it up. And because I get it up immediately, and I post it, and it got posted everywhere. Alex Jones, fucking everywhere. David Icke. It just, look, it wasn't, and it was never about that. It was about, here, I'm on YouTube, and let's see who we can say, look at this shit, and look at this shit, and have a discussion about it. It was never about me. I published 20,000 videos before I ever did an on-camera video. Narcissist. Yeah, that's me.
Wait a minute, what are you, fucking crazy? You're on TV for fucking 5 years out in Seattle.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
And I posted 20,000 videos on YouTube before I ever posted a single one with my face on it. Okay? It was never about me.
You can go back and fucking YouTube, please, and you can pull up video after video of you fucking crying. I mean, don't get me started on the fucking crying. That's my C for the alphabet. Crying on the fucking internet. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, you have to cry. This is what boggles my mind about that shit, is that you had to cry into the camera, right? Record it. And then you have to put it into your video editor, right? And I'm just going to assume that you didn't watch. I'm going to assume that you didn't watch yourself crying and begging to us. Oh, please send me money. I can't afford rent. I'm going to be fucking homeless.
Yes, of course. That's what I do, show after show after show. Of course. That's all I. And you know what? I'm 2 months. I'm 2 months late on rent, and I'm not out here begging and crying. I did a show the other night where I was crying because my dog got hurt. What?
You know, like crying about your dog, that's one thing. That's okay. I'm not going to bust your chops.
Oh, okay. No, you're here to tell us when it's okay and when it's not okay. Got it.
No.
Yes, you just did that.
What the fuck is wrong with you, you fuck?
Yeah, I know. I'm the one who has a problem.
Yeah, you do. You got a fucking serious problem, Mikey.
Because you're telling people when it's appropriate to cry and when it's not appropriate to cry, but I'm the one with the problem.
You think, wait a minute, Michael, think about this. You think it's appropriate to videotape yourself, crying, right? And then what? You watch the video. Let's pretend you didn't even watch the video. You didn't watch the video, and then you just upload that shit to fucking YouTube. You think that's appropriate?
I don't think a lot about what's appropriate. Hello, caller. And the thing is I'm really not very concerned with what's appropriate. And I've said this again and again. Doesn't matter to me. Hello, caller. Oh, caller left. I do not care what is appropriate. Okay, and I am an incredibly heartfelt person. It's difficult to be as heartfelt as I am. I feel retarded about it a lot. You know, do you ever cry when you watch like television shows or a movie or something? I cry when I watch cartoons sometimes, you know. So I'm a very heartfelt person. And I don't try to hide that. That's part of the thing. You know, he's saying, "Oh, look what's wrong with you," and I stopped him because he's not listening to what he's saying, right? You know, he's saying, oh, it's appropriate to cry here. It's appropriate to have feelings. It's not appropriate to have feelings. Which, again, I don't care. Mushroomentary. See, that's how you pronounce that. Mushroomentary. Jackie Cat has mushroomentary tomorrow. Is it in the afternoon? What time is it at? Tomorrow is the mushroomentary. So she would like you to put a reminder up for you. And I would like you to do that for her. So let's see. I'll be happy to talk with whoever wants to talk. I don't want to sit here and act like, see, again, if you're going to say it's appropriate to cry, it's appropriate to have feelings here, it's not appropriate to have feelings here. I think this is part of what's wrong with me too. I don't care what's appropriate. I have feelings. And when I'm expressing those feelings, no, I don't try to censor those feelings out, as I didn't in the video, the tribute to Sammy. I didn't want to act like, I don't want to act. I'm not acting, right? I do some entertaining and theatrical things, like when I go to take a dab, I shake the container, and it's because it's funny. I don't do that when I'm by myself. I do a lot of theatrical things like that, like smoking more than one hit or 2 hits in an hour. So, speaking of which, I should go and check and make sure that I don't have a dab that I owe someone for Dabs for Donations Friday. So, I'm going to play a video about, let's see, the last one was workplace racism. I have one about suicide and black teens, but we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to play, I have one about China banning crypto also. Okay, I'm going to play the one about the mRNA vaccine award goes to, drum roll please.
Well, staying here in Germany, one of the country's most prestigious science prizes has been awarded to the founders of the German vaccine developer BioNTech and one of their colleagues. The 3 scientists were selected for their pioneering work with messenger RNA technology. It has proven pivotal in the swift rollout of an effective coronavirus vaccine.
Hundreds of millions of people have already benefited from the corona vaccine based on messenger RNA, mRNA for short. The 3 BioNTech researchers behind this success are Katalin Kariko, Özlem Türeci and Uğur Şahin. They're responsible for establishing a technology platform that, according to the Paul-Ehrlich Foundation, is likely to initiate a paradigm shift in other areas as well. mRNA vaccines are easier to produce than vector vaccines and so can be adapted more quickly to combat virus mutations. But how exactly do they work? Humans are injected with the blueprint for a specific viral trait. In the corona vaccine, this is the code for the spike protein, the large structure that projects from the surface of an enveloped virus. According to this blueprint, the body now produces the protein itself. The immune system then recognizes the interferers in the body and can fight against them. Vaccines are $1 billion business. Global sales of the 2 available mRNA vaccines made by BioNTech, Pfizer and Moderna are expected to top around 40 billion euros in 2021 alone. The 3 researchers, whose original research included cancer vaccines, are now being honored for developing a highly effective corona vaccine in record time.
I almost never let them go to the end. All right, so I have more videos to play. I didn't get any donations, so I don't have any dabs that I need to do. I had a fat brownie before it came on the show, so I'm good. Let's see, where was I? So, anyways, trying to explain how I got here was public access television, posting things on the internet, early days, and then before, years and years before there was a YouTube, and then learning, how to do it, and then YouTube comes along. I used lots of other servers before YouTube. Google, I used to post a lot on Google before there was the YouTube, and I was being recognized there a lot. But because Google had an upload service before the YouTube came around. And, just the work seemed to be valid, so people seemed, there was really awesome discussions going on. That was one of the big things that I liked. And again, it was never about me, so I really wasn't involved in the discussions. It was about, here's this interesting thing that people said or that happened, and what do you all think about that? And then all of a sudden it gets linked all over the place, So, like I said, if it really mattered, then why, if it really mattered what other people think, then why do anything, especially not something where you pour your heart into it. And I don't know, I thought that we did some pretty good work. I thought we really rocked the pillars of heaven, actually. And I love doing this with the people, talking about daily events, just kind of connecting. I've always enjoyed connecting. And I'm not trying to be a narcissist. I don't know, probably narcissists don't try to be narcissists, right? It's that these interesting things happen, and like when I met Steven Tyler, it was weird. We were walking, we used to hand out flyers for the weekly public access television show. We'd hand out flyers, and we were at this mall, right, and we're handing out flyers, and we're at this mall, we're handing out flyers, and I'm somewhere on the other side of the mall, and I have a couple of ladies with me, and they're passing out flyers on the other side of the mall, and I was upstairs, and I started to come down the escalator, and the ladies were at the bottom of the escalator, and they're like, "There he is, hi Mike, come over here." And I go over to them, and they're standing with Steven Tyler and his wife, I guess. Steven Tyler of Aerosmith fame, and and Steven Tyler's like, "Hey, these girls were telling me all about you and what you do, and that's awesome, and you should come back to the hotel and party with us." And I was like, "Right on, that sounds like fun." And I'm talking to him, and while I'm talking to Steven Tyler, this person walks up to me and asks me for my autograph. He had a flyer for the public access TV show, which was just printed on one side and the back side was black. And he's like, "Can I have your autograph?" Yeah, man. So, and then when Steven's like asking us to come back to his hotel, his wife's like, no. So, whatever. But he was very nice. And And that was another one of these things. It's not like I'm somehow making these things up. And I'm not bragging. It seems to me like they're good stories. Maybe that's what's wrong, is it sounds more like bragging. I don't know. And then when I met Marilyn Manson, should we talk about that? I'm going to play another video, and then we'll talk about when I met Marilyn Manson. Let's see. Suicidal black teens. Let's do that one. Clip 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
Welcome back. The pandemic continues to take a toll on so many people, and now there's a rise in racially motivated abuse. Some therapists say that causes thoughts of suicide to become even more amplified. Our Kira Elfallen on the study that came out of the University of Washington.
According to that UW study, black teens are twice as likely to attempt suicide as white teens without reporting any plans or thoughts to do so. That UW study also points out that young men in general are also more likely to attempt suicide without reporting any thoughts or plans. A local trauma therapist says suicide is the third leading cause of death for black male youth. She also explains the black community in general is more reluctant to share feelings or get help, and it all goes back to slavery and the legacy of post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Slavery ends, and that is still passed down within many black families. Many of us won't speak out on it, or we just have to be strong and we have to put on this brave face, even if we are breaking down emotionally.
Suicide is one of the leading causes of death in Washington state, and it does impact people of all ages and all racial backgrounds. So that is why it is important to know the signs. Some of those signs include talking about suicide or wanting to die, talking about hopelessness or having no reason to live, withdrawing or isolating, and giving away personal prized possessions. So there is help if you need it. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is available for you 24 hours a day. Now, the trauma therapist who I spoke with said that there are culturally competent therapists out there available to you, and there are resources available to help with the cost. So if you want more information on that, all you have to do is text the word HELP to the number on your screen, 206-448-4545. We'll send you that link. From the newsroom, I'm Kira Elfallen, King 5 News.
All right, so when I met Marilyn Manson, which I didn't meet him exactly, but I was doing the public access television show, and people used to come up to me a lot from Southern California and say, man, everybody's talking about you down there. I don't know. But when I met Marilyn Manson, right, one of my ladies was hanging out on the bus with the band, and I can't remember if it was Wonder Slut or Super Ho. It was one or the other, Wonder Slut or Super Ho. I think it was Super Ho, pretty sure. Anyways, she calls me and says, "Hey, I got seats for Marilyn Manson for you and backstage passes," right? So I'm like, awesome, right? So I ate a bunch of mushrooms and I got there and I'm like, oh, just tripping balls. And it was a nice seat, right? And I'm sitting there and they made it snow up on stage, and I thought it was a pretty darn good show. Very theatrical. So I have backstage pass, right? Right there, backstage pass, right? And upside down. Had this Ouija board since I was 10 years old. Marilyn Manson. So had the backstage pass. So it was after the show. It was an awesome show. So I wanted to see what was going on backstage. And I go backstage and I'm sitting, there's like, like I said, I just find a place where I just feel comfortable and I just chill there. I don't wander around, don't do anything, just chill. And especially if I can get a view. I like having a view, So I'm sitting there up against the wall, just hanging out, and this person comes up to me. Oh, and I'm checking out the room, right? And there's like twins walking around that look like they're from Victoria's Secrets, like in lingerie wearing angel wings, you know, and just hot trim everywhere and all kinds of freaks, you know. And so I'm sitting there, you know, like I said, I like the view. I like checking out I like sitting at the edge of the party and just watch what happens, you know. And then a lot of times the party comes to me, so. But I'm sitting there watching the room, and you know, twins wearing angel wings. I'm like, wow. And this guy comes up to me and he says, the band would like to meet you. The band would like to meet me. Okay. So he takes me back to this room. It was strange. It's in the theater that I had spent a lot of time on, a lot of time backstage. I knew it pretty well. He takes me back to this room, and I expected there'd be, you know, couches and tables with like, you know, grub and stuff like that, whatever it was that they do. Champagne, who knows, right? So I go back there, and it's just this nothing is in the room. Like, there's not a chair, there's not a table, there's nothing. It's just concrete block wall room, right? Bare floor. So I go in there, and I'm standing there, and the guy says, okay, let the band come up to you. Don't say anything. Just let them come up to you, right? So I'm standing there, and they're having like this discussion, and I fucked up. I'm all tripping balls, and I fucked up. I go up, and I go, hey, that was an awesome show. And the guy who brought me backstage to, and I walked up to him and said, that was an awesome show. The guy who brought me backstage comes up to me and puts his arm around me and says, okay, time for you to go, right? So I fucked up. But again, whatever's wrong with me, you know, it leads me, it's so weird that when you got twins with angel wings walking around backstage and this really well-known band wants to meet me, you know. And again, I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to tell you about this crazy life that I've had, you know. It's not, you know, people are like, you're not normal. Yeah, I know. I'm good with that. I'm good with that, you know. And if I do something that's inappropriate, well, you wouldn't be the first person that thought so, you know. I'm going to play another video, and I don't know. Employer forced vaccines. I'm going to play that because these guys in this video act as if employers have the right to tell these employees what they can do in their personal lives, right? It's acting as if, you know, they say stuff like, well, the employer can tell you have to work on Saturdays, and if you don't want to work on Saturdays, then you're fired. Well, that's very different than the employer telling you what medicines you can and can't take and what medicines you must take. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mox, how you doing? It's Dave from New York.
Hey, Dave. I'm doing fine.
That's great. Great to hear it. I have a few things to say that it's just my personal observation, and I don't like when people the trolls come out and they come after you for whatever reason. When you're in the public eye and the trolls come out for you, it's different than if there's a group of people that have a legitimate complaint, right? It's very different. And no, you're not. If people have a question about whether or not you're a narcissist, they don't understand what they're watching, actually. They really don't. They don't understand what they're watching. These are people that I can't even imagine where their mind is.
Well, yeah. When I was making TV, there was protest. there was more than one, I can tell you for sure, and bomb threats and all kinds of other stuff.
And bomb threats. Really?
Yeah.
Bomb threats suck. I don't like bomb threats.
No, bomb threats were bad. It made the station very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Nobody should do that. But you know, dude, you're in the Internet of Things, in the things of Internet. Oh, you know, I haven't scoured the entire thing, but I've bounced around a pretty good bit. This is the only call-in show where you have the ability to entertain any call, and it's amazing to me how many calls you don't get. Like, it's actually incredible.
It's unfortunate that we don't have a larger audience, because I think it could actually be incredibly fascinating if we had a dozen more callers a night.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different angles you could take on that, examination, because it is an oddity. It's an anomaly. This isn't something that is often happening, I would say. That's all I would say. It's not something often happening.
Well, I think that's partially what made the YouTube work. My YouTube posts, my YouTube websites, interesting at first was that people would censor, discussions the way that they didn't like. If there was something they didn't like, it would be like that whole part of the conversation would be censored, very much like YouTube does now on its own. But I never did that. I wasn't interested in censoring the conversation, even when people would say really shitty things, But there was a reason for that too, is I wanted everyone to know who that person is before they get into a conversation with them, before you get in.
Yeah.
Trolls are very sticky, and it's good to know, don't fucking, don't feed the trolls, man.
It's hard for me not to feed them. It really is.
Got plans for the weekend, Dave?
All right. Yeah, plans for the weekend. Yes, I'm moving. I'm actually, I've been working very hard for the last 3 years, and now I'm ready to sell the house I'm in and move into this barn I bought. And it's a barn on, like 6 acres of beautiful, pristine land. I got creeks running on this place. I'm ready to go. So,
but the barn has a kitchen and a bathroom and stuff.
It does have a bathroom, but it doesn't have a septic yet. I need to put in a septic system, and so it's kind of rough. Yeah, it's kind of rough. Like we have an RV or a camper trailer parked down there where you got, there's a way to dispose of waste and all of that. So it's not like, but we have to put in a septic system and get some water.
Sounds like roughing it. Sounds like roughing it, man.
Yeah, I always rough it, dude. I've lived on the street since I was very small. I've never had a place where I've called home. Like, this is the place I'm going to live to the day I die. I was like, no, that's never even entered my consciousness.
It doesn't. I mean, who knows? I don't want to have that life. I want to know. I want to wonder where I might go next or what's going to happen next. It's not.
Yeah. don't be over secure in what your situation is. You need to be, people need to be more adaptable, you know, like these trolls need to be adaptable. Like, learn and listen. Excuse me, just learn and listen. For Christ's sake, you don't know the gold you're watching, you know, when you have this kind of a show. You don't know. You just don't know. And there's so many people that just, I don't know. It's disheartening in a way. In another way, it's like a burgeoning of life in the spring when everything, you know, is you've got 1 million babies, but you know only 200,000 of them are going to live. Yeah, so you hope for the best and you just go with it.
You know, I think I don't like hope so much, but I like them. I like them. I like them. I like living in the moment. In the moment, I can look around and I can see there's my dog. I got food in the fridge. I'm not cold. You know, and I got a tasty beverage. I got 2 tasty beverage. You know, I'm not. You know. So what do I have to fucking bitch about? You know, I mean, I'm 2 months late. I'm 2 months late on my rent. You know, but at the same time, you know, I have a smile on my face, and I just got done talking about all the things that I have to be very thankful for, and I am. You know, so I'm good. I spent a lot of time without a house too, without a place to live.
Yeah, I'm really sure that across the 30 years that I've been involved in trying to reach out to people and talk to them, I'm pretty sure that most of the really smart providers of questioning are 2 months behind on their rent. I'm pretty sure that's exactly... I would say that correlates pretty well. If you're 2 months behind on your rent, that's a much more trustable person than somebody who has 5 million in their bank account. I'm going to be, if anybody has 5 million in their bank account, I kind of want to know who they are, where they get it, what's going on. You know, so there's 1 million more questions. There's 1 million questions for every dollar anybody has, it seems. No, I'm a street guy, man. You're solid, Mox. I gotta go. You've got it going on. Anybody who questions it is not a student. They're still a child. That's my position.
Right on, Dave. Thanks very much.
All right, Mox.
Good to hear from you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Again, I published 20,000 videos on YouTube before I ever did one with my face on it. It was never about me. It was always about sharing information in the right way. I don't know. I'm not, I'm going to play another video real quick. I have a short one here about China banning cryptocurrency. I'm going to do that real quick. And I'll be right back. It's only like a minute long.
Happening now, China bans all cryptocurrency exchanges and is vowing to put an end to all digital currency mining. The People's Bank of China says all such exchanges will now be considered illicit financial activity. Bitcoin initially tumbled in the wake of the news, falling 8% to $41,000, but it has recovered a bit since. Part of the problem is the energy required to mine cryptocurrencies. China says cracking down on the digital currency will help meet the country's carbon goals.
So Dave was just talking about how, you know, he trusts someone who's behind on their rent more than someone who's got $5 million in the bank. You know, one of the things, if you haven't seen my video about my girl, it's just a couple videos back. It's a tribute to Sammy. So I recommend, I think it's a good video. And one of the things that we talked about was quality of life. And Dave was talking about someone with $5 million in the bank, right? And I think, this person I was talking about who invited me to go see V for Vendetta, it was an Amazon billionaire, and it's weird because he's got $1 billion in the bank, right? I have nothing. I'm literally couch surfing, living in cars, but I have the attention of the entire city. And this guy who's a billionaire could do anything he wants in his life, right? He wants to hang out with me, right? So it's really strange when you talk about quality of life and having $5 million in the bank. What I see is that money doesn't. If you want to hang out with this person who's couch surfing and you have $1 billion, you're worth $1 billion, and you want to hang out with this person, then you're not, there's something missing from your life, right? That $1 billion can't buy. I think because he never said, hey, I want to make this business thing happen with you. I hung out with him for years. Never said, hey, I want to do this thing. It's like when we met the guy from the IEG, the company using the most bandwidth on the internet, and they said, hey, we would like to do this with you. I was like, okay, because I was looking for some bandwidth. And I figured they could maybe handle it, and then we started crashing their servers. So, what a life. I'm just trying to show you the ride that it was getting here, and how I got here, and it's been a very interesting ride, I'm not, I see so many people, like I was saying, the billionaire who has something missing from his life, that he wants to hang out with me for years, I mean, yeah, he's throwing killer parties with hot girls, and he wants to hang out with me for years. And I see people that don't seem to be very happy, don't seem to be satisfied. I was talking about, in my video, a tribute to Sammy, I was talking about quality of life, and someone else telling me about quality of life who's also a very wealthy person, and he's talking about quality of life to me, and all I could think is, this person doesn't have quality of life. Got millions of dollars, but I've never seen him smile, never seen him laugh. I'm pretty sure that says a lot about your quality of life, right? So, and you all have seen me laugh and smile and giggle my ass off, and it's because I have this amazing life, right? And it's been a long, strange trip, and I wouldn't have it any other way. People say, oh, if you could be anybody, who would you be, right? I don't want to be anybody else. There was a time, when I was like 20 years old, and if you had asked me that question, I would have said Sting. I want to be Sting, right? Fuck yeah, I want to be Sting, because he was artsy as fuck, and he was, he was new wave punk, anyways, at that time when I was 20, you asked me, I want to be Sting. That's who I would trade lives with. Since I started making TV and things got all cray, there isn't anyone that I would think I would rather be. And I think that has a lot to do with quality of life. I don't think quality of life is this thing. Like I said, I'm 2 months late on my rent. I have no money. And I'm not saying, oh, please send me money. I'm saying I have no money, and I guarantee this person to me that was talking about quality of life, who has millions of dollars, I'm pretty sure I have a better quality of life than him. But we may see quality of life in different ways, you know. It may mean something different to him than it means to me. Like, I don't want to go into it. Anyways, like I said, I wouldn't trade places with anyone, and that's because I have made my mark, and I have done it completely in my own way. And I have never listened to the people who said, what the hell is wrong with you? And the ones who said, you can't do this. And I've talked about Bugs Bunny being a hero of mine, right? And people would say, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I would be like, you don't know me very well, do you? So, which was a line that Bugs Bunny used to use all the time. You know, I don't, it's kind of like a challenge, you know, when people say you can't do this, you can't do that. So, and let's see, I probably have rambled on enough. Nobody wants to hear my lame old stories. Let's see. Oh, did I play the employee forced vaccination one? Did I? Oh, I played the Canada. I'm pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty good. You guys good? I know you want to go start your weekend. I don't blame you to go start your weekend. I hopefully will be able to finish up my garden in the backyard. I need to. My neurologist, I got a call yesterday saying that my prescription, my cannabis reauthorization recommendation is signed by my neurologist and waiting at the front desk for me to come and pick up. Which means as soon as I get it in my hot little paws, I can start my next garden, I hope. But first I got to clean up the old garden, which is out in the backyard. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping I can make happen this weekend. I think friends are coming over for food. I think we might barbecue steaks or something. I don't know. It sounds pretty good, though. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow. I hope your tomorrow is going to be a nice day. And I thank you so much for hanging out for my narcissistic bullshit. In which I act as if I'm an interesting person and everybody wants to hear my stupid little stories. I hope it was entertaining for some of you. So, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. I'm thinking about going a little bit earlier. If you all think 6 p.m. sounds like a better time, let me know. Again, thank you so much to everybody. It's really nice of you to come and stick around. Listen to me ramble. All right, I will talk to you again soon, I hope. Until then, stay cool because one of these days this war is going to end. Stay cool till then.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. MoxNews.com.